Hey there everyone, what's going on? Joe Martin here from MobileCupOfJoe.com, ready to bring you all another product review, this time though of the LG Intuition running on Verizon Wireless. The LG Intuition is the first phablet we ever saw from LG in the US anyways, and is also an exclusive to Verizon Wireless. So if you're looking to get a new phablet, is this the one to get for $99 with a 2-year contract, or should you go all the way and spend $299 with a 2-year contract for the Samsung Galaxy Note? I'm Joe Martin from MobileCupOfJoe.com. We're going to find out right now. But before I go any further, please go ahead and grab that coffee cup, fill it up right over, and sit on down. Take a swig for a Mobile Cup of Joe. So to kick off this review, we're going to be talking about some quick little design and build quality aspects of the LG Intuition. So at the top of the device, we have got our 3.5mm headphone jack. Next to that, we've got our quick memo, which is LG's note-taking, a little quick access button to that, which we'll get into a little bit later. Got a little door there for our micro USB syncing/charging port. Then we have a power/lock button right there. Front of the device, we have our 5-inch screen with a 4:3 aspect ratio. Top of the device, we have our 1.3 megapixel camera with our Verizon logo. Bottom of the device, we have our standard Android ice cream sandwich capacitive touch buttons. You got a back button, a home button, a recent apps button, and on the Intuition, we also have a menu capacitive touch button right there. LG logo above those. Bottom of the device, we've got our little microphone pinhole right there. I don't know if you can see it, as well as some screws to take off the back of the phone. Back of the device, we've got our 8-megapixel camera with LED flash, our LG logo right there, 4G LTE logo for Verizon. Right side of the device, we've got our volume rocker. And on the left side, we don't have anything. Actually, though, if you can see right there, we can pop that off maybe. We can get access to our Verizon Wireless SIM card slot. It is nice to see that right on the outside of the device. Usually it's in the back of the phone, so it's nice to see that for having such quick access to it. Now this device does look like a beast with its huge 5-inch screen. Surprisingly enough though, it only weighs 6.08 ounces and is only 0.33 inches thick. When I first unboxed this thing, I thought, oh my god, this thing is going to weigh a ton, but it is actually much lighter than you may think. Another interesting thing about it is its 4:3 aspect ratio. Phablets nowadays are considered to be above 5 inches. 5 inches like this one is now considered just a standard smartphone. This one though can still be considered a phablet because its 4:3 aspect ratio makes it a little bit more full screen viewing for content. Most smartphones you see have a 16:9 aspect ratio, which allows for a widescreen viewing and makes sure that you don't get a letterboxing when you stream YouTube videos. We'll take a look at that a little bit later in the review. One issue though I did have with the build quality of the Intuition was this back design. If it wants to focus right, you may be able to see that it has kind of a little textured design. This is all plastic, and while it is probably one of the biggest factors in the lightness of this device, it does make it feel a bit cheap and not as premium quality as some of you may like it to be. Now this phablet also does come with a rubber diem stylus. Not sure why LG calls it rubber diem, but it feels really, really great. It feels really sturdy, almost like a pen, like a real pen. My biggest issue though with the design of it is that there's no port in here to store it internally. On the bottom, on the top, on the side, there's nowhere on here to store the stylus. The Galaxy Note and the Galaxy Note 2 both have ports inside of them to store the stylus. Not having a port in here just makes this thing feel like an annoyance. Even though it feels really great, I don't want to carry this around with me and have the responsibility of not losing it. So it's kind of a big issue I had with it, and it sounds like I'm kind of nitpicking here, but after you use the LG Intuition for about 2 weeks, you will see why it's such an annoyance. So overall, the design of it was pretty good. It could be a little bit better though, like I said, with that back material. We'll get into more of the aspect ratio a little bit later in this. Now, to get into some hardware specifications, under the hood of this bad boy, you've got a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor and 1 gigabyte of RAM to power through all your day-to-day tasks. I'll turn the power on real quick and swipe through some home screen so you can see kind of the processing capabilities of it. So you can see it sliding through all of this. Runs fairly smooth. We'll launch a game real quick. We'll launch Temple Run. I believe I've got that on here, yeah, right there. And with this 4:3 aspect ratio, most applications, or really all applications on the Google Play Store, are designed to have to run on a 16:9 aspect ratio. So some apps may look a little odd, but for games and apps like Temple Run, they really look quite fine. If it wants to load up here, you can see that it looks actually really fine on this 4:3 aspect ratio. It doesn't look stretched out or anything at all. If you do get a game, though, like Angry Birds, for example, you can hold down your home button right here, and it'll ask you if you want to aspect ratio correction. You click on the checkbox, and it will change your application. If it wants to load up there. You can see that it kind of cuts it out and makes it run with a 16:9 aspect ratio, but cuts off your screen real estate. So like I said, Temple Run I didn't have any issues with, or Facebook, etc., Evernote, with this 4:3 aspect ratio. But for games like Angry Birds, things such as that, you will want to correct them because they're going to look stretched out and a little bit distorted. Now this thing also has a screen resolution of 768 by 1024. While 720p HD displays are the norm nowadays, and 1080p is coming to be more of a reality each and every day, you can see that everything actually does look really good. The colors are very vibrant and nicely saturated, and the blacks are nice and black, and the text is actually very, very crisp. This is a great looking display, and even though it does have a 5-inch display, 5-inch display, so you're not going to get as much pixels per inch. It still looks really great for viewing video content or looking at pictures. The screen resolution really does get the job done. Now, this thing also has 4G LTE capabilities with Verizon Wireless service. As you can see, we are only getting 3G service here. It's not showing up right now because I have my Wi-Fi on. But in the area that I live in, 3G speeds are the only ones that we have available. I was in Paw Paw, Michigan, though, which is a very small town. I actually got 4G LTE there, which is very surprising. I got download speeds of around 15 megabits per second and upload speeds of 10 megabits per second. I was really impressed with the LTE speeds on Verizon, especially in such a small town like Paw Paw. With T-Mobile, I can only get 2G service there. So Verizon Wireless really has their LTE network spread out and is continuing to expand it each and every day. So the LTE speeds I was really impressed with. One thing though I wasn't impressed with was the call quality, actually. While people that I was talking to said that I sounded just fine, I actually found that I had kind of a, I could hear the people I was talking to fine, not that I couldn't hear them. They sounded a little muffled, and turning the volume up while you're talking to someone is just going to distort the quality even more. Is one of the not as great sounding products or phones I've ever tested and reviewed. Kind of disappointed by the call quality on the Intuition. Verizon Wireless has great service, though. I never had a dropped call. It's just that the call quality and the quality of the people's voices could be a little bit better. Now, this thing also has a 2080 milliamp hour battery. I got about 10 hours of use out of it with moderate use of web browsing, video streaming, calling, texting, etc., different tasks like that. This is really impressive, especially for a device that has LTE speeds and a 5-inch screen. With the larger screen, it needs more pixels to power the display, and usually with the larger screen, you're not going to get the best battery life. But a 2080 milliamp hour battery really does help power through. Now, if you get this phone and you live in an area with strong LTE speeds, you may find that the battery life lasts a little bit shorter. Since I use this phone the majority of the time with the 3G services, since LTE is not available in my area, that may be the reason why I got such a good battery life out of this. LTE is known to drain the battery on a lot of devices much faster than 3G or standard 4G. But still, this is a very powerful battery and is one of the strong points of the device. Now, this thing also has an 8 megapixel camera on the back, as you can see right there, and a front-facing 1.3 megapixel camera. We'll go into our gallery real quick so I can show you what they look like. If I can find my gallery in here. There we go. Now, if you want a better example of the pictures that I took, go over to our written review on our website to check them out from yourself there. So this is the one I took with the rear-facing camera. You can see the beautiful cake. It tasted extremely delicious as well. You can see that I actually picked up the moisture of the cake, and it's a very detailed camera. It also has some quick features on it as well that we'll get into just a second. This is a picture I took with the front-facing camera, and I was actually pleasantly impressed. You can see that at the top we kind of have a little bit of digital noise right in that corner, but this actually took a really good camera. There was not a lot of lighting when I took this picture actually, so I was pretty impressed with how it turned out. Now, one of the cool things that LG implements with their camera application is this cool function called cheese. So we can tap this, and we can say, cheese, cheese, cheese. Okay, hold on, I've turned on. So you can say take photo to say cheese. There, just said cheese. And it takes a photo just with that voice recognition, which is really cool for taking group photos, just little things like that that make the LG Intuition kind of a more personal Android device. Now we're going to move on to some software specifications of the LG Intuition. This thing is running Android 4.0.4 Ice Cream Sandwich. We'll go into the settings menu real quick just to confirm that, because I know there's some of you out there that just are set on having me confirm what version it's running. You can see right there, we've got Android version 4.0.4. No word yet if this is going to be upgraded to 4.1 Jelly Bean, even though 4.2 is already out. We still don't have any word if this is going to be upgraded to any version of Jelly Bean at this point. With that said, a 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich is still a good version of the Android operating system. It also has LG's Optimus 3.0 user interface layered over it, as you may be able to see. While I like swiping through the home screens and everything, I found that the app drawer selection felt a bit outdated compared to stock Android Ice Cream Sandwich. With the Ice Cream Sandwich, you get a nice transition effect, like a card stack. This is just standard swiping across screens, like you can find on Samsung's TouchWiz user interface, and it just feels a bit outdated to me. Now, LG's Optimus 3.0 UI allows for a ton of customization with your phone. If we go into the settings menu real quick, and we go to home screen, we can actually change the swipe screen effect when changing our home screens. Hold on, just messed up my animations options. We can change the swipe screen effect, so our current one is set to that breeze. We can change it to a basic, an accordion, a panorama, different things like that really add a ton of customization to the LG Intuition, really Android phones in general. We don't usually really ever see an option to change the screen effect when swiping through our phone, but the LG includes this with the Optimus 3.0 UI, and it is a huge plus if you're into customization. The 3.0 UI also allows you to have these quick access features when you swipe down for your notifications to access Quick Memo, Vibrate, Bluetooth, NFC, GPS, and Airplane. This is really, really great to get quick access to these key features of your phone, and is an awesome inclusion of the device. Optimus 3.0 UI also allows you to access up to 5 applications from your lock screen. So you can see we turned it on, and say that you turn on your phone and you want to check your email real quick. Just hold on your email icon, slide it up, and it will launch your email. That is really, really cool. So if you got your screen locked, turn it on real quick. You don't want to have to slide through your home screens or your app drawer to find the application you want. Just slide up on it right there on the lock screen, and you are set to go. All little things like that really make the Optimus 3.0 UI, even though the application drawer or the app drawer feels a little outdated to me, it's still a really nice user interface for Android. Now, with LG's Optimus 3.0 UI, you also get Quick Memo, which you can access from the top of the device. Click that button, it'll take a picture or a screen capture of it, and then you can then go to write on it. It's really, really cool if you need to take a note or circle something on your phone and send it to a friend. A very cool feature. You can also access Quick Memo by going to your notebook. And we'll start a new note. And okay. And you can just start writing. So let's write, if it wants to write. So you can see that it writes fairly well. I apologize for my handwriting being so terrible. I'm looking at this through a camcorder screen, so it's a bit difficult, but it actually writes really, really well. It feels like an actual pen when you're holding it, and this Quick Memo has a ton of great features in it. If you need to jot down a quick note and you prefer handwriting, or if you want to take a screen capture of something on your phone and want to make a note of it and send it to your friends or share it with any of your friends and family, really, really cool feature. Now moving on, Although, like I said, 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich is a capable operating system, it does lack many features such as Project Butter, Google Now, quick settings, improved notifications, etc. Well, you can see that it does run very smooth. You will know if you use any Jelly Bean device that this does not have Project Butter, simply because that you're not getting that Jelly Bean Project Butter goodness. Also lacks Google Now, which is Google's excellent voice assistant. That's non-existent on this device. Like I said, there is no official word from LG if this will ever get the update to Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. So if you really want a phablet, but you also want to have the latest and greatest version of Android, you may want to look elsewhere. So with all that said, I'm going to be giving the LG Intuition a 7 out of 10. This is a great device. It's just that with the Samsung's Galaxy Note 2 out, which is a superior phablet with a larger screen, quad-core processing, Android Jelly Bean, and Samsung's very famous S Pen, it's a kind of a big competition. With the LG Intuition, though, has a major uprising in it, though, with its $99 price point compared to Samsung Galaxy Note 2, $299 price point. So if you want to get a phablet on Verizon Wireless, or really a phablet in general, but don't want to spend an arm and a leg for it, the LG Intuition is not a bad choice. It's just that it's marred by some issues such as the Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, and its 4:3 aspect ratio may be a little cumbersome for some people. While it works fine for me, this may be a little bit difficult to get into a pocket, and if you have small hands too, you may not like it. I have full-grown hands. I have pretty large hands considering my age, and I still cannot wrap my hand around the device. Also, putting this into your pocket feels a little weird and kind of cumbersome, not the most comfortable thing. So it's going to come down to if you're willing to try something new with the 4:3 aspect ratio, or if you don't mind spending some extra money and going with a Samsung Galaxy Note 2. Keep in mind, though, that LG did announce the Optimus View 2. This LG Intuition is a US version of the Optimus View. LG just announced the Optimus View 2 during the week of CES, so we may see a successor to this phone in the United States at the end of the year. That's not confirmed yet, but keep in mind that we may see a successor to this sometime later in the year or early next year. But like I said, score 7 out of 10. What do you think of that? Do you have the LG Intuition? Are you planning to get one? Comment below. Let me know what you think of the device. And if you liked the video, please go ahead, hit the like button if you liked it. It takes 1 second to do so. It really helps support the show. And if you want to show your support towards the show even more, go ahead, hit the subscribe button at the top of your screen for more Mobile Cup of Joe videos. And you guys know we are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And don't forget to check out our website at www.mobilecupofjoe.com for your latest in mobile tech news outside of our videos. You can also find our full written review for the LG Intuition, and we want to give a huge thank you for LG for hooking us up with the LG Intuition, allowing us to unbox it and review it for all of our fans. But I'm Joe Martin from mobilecupofjoe.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.